idea about the things they.
Now we about to get her a job at the airport. I'm saying God told me, leave those people behind that you got to convince. I don't got to why we got to convince people who've been reading the word? Why we got to convince people who've been in the church their whole life? Why we got to convince people who've seen the power of God over and over again? Why we got to keep convincing? It's time to move forward. We ain't got a lot of time on this earth to be having meetings that at the end of the meeting don't nothing come out of it. I don't even care if we met for 4 hours and something came from it. We meeting and ain't nothing coming from it but bad feelings. It's homeless people. It's people with mental disorders. It's kids trying to go to college. We still living from check to check. You've been paying tithe for how long? It's time to move forward. You've been paying tithes for how long? You had that gift for how long? It's time to move forward. God is ashamed of most of us in this room. Now, I can't speak for all y'all. He told me, I'm ashamed of you. This man just did an app and it's got 80 million people following. What would happen if you did something for me and 80 million people gave their life to me, son? You still going to non-believers to push your message. Why you ain't got your own? Why you keep saying, oh, God, if I say too much Jesus, they're going to shut me down. They shouldn't be able to shut you down. You should have your own stuff. You keep putting your stuff on their stuff and crying about what they doing to your stuff. Get your own stuff. We talk about people who got stuff who ain't even got God like we got God, and they got more stuff than we. They got more faith. They moving further than we moving. Hey, man, let's go to the word real quick. I'm sorry. I got a treat for y'all too today. I brought a treat. Forward. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Please do me a favor. Write in your phone before you leave. What do you need to go forward in? Just being real. Like, is your relationship, I wake up every day and my wife like, look, well, we've been together since we were 16. We need to do the blissful boy. We ain't gonna do the blissful boy. We need to go. It don't even make sense for us to be together. We two sinners getting on each other's nerves. It just don't even make sense. I'm just being real. It don't make sense. We having worship every day, not to be having worship. I want to be blissful. I don't even want to be in this thing. If we can't be happy, like, let's not even be together. I'm looking at my bank account every day. I'm trying to get to 8 figure. We can't get to 8 figure. What are we doing? I got kids need to go to Dubai. I got kids that need to go to college. They need computers. They need to study abroad. What are we doing? If we just coming to church every week, what are we doing? To be able to say we had church and we go eat, what are we doing? As anointed as you are, why don't your bank account look like it? As anointed as we are, why don't your credit score look like the God that you serve? What's the problem? Why aren't our relationships, why aren't we producing? We're not going forward. We just want to be here. No more of that. No more of the coasting. No more coasting. No more settling. No more going in circles. We're going forward, or you ain't going with me. You like, listen to me, and I ain't mad at you, but you can have your little settling party. Settle, if you will, if you must. I'm not mad at you. It's safer. You don't want this life. You don't want this life. This life, God get to tell you what you want, what he wants you to do every day. You don't want this life. You don't want God to tell you when he wants you to wake up. Go ahead and keep you wake up at 9 every day self, and you ain't gonna get up. No, I don't wake up before 9. Okay, I don't know what God you serve. I don't serve a God on my schedule. Sometimes he want to use me at 3 a.m. Sometimes he want to use me at 3 p.m. Sometimes he want me to go to a restaurant and get terrible service so I can leave and then come back and get what I was supposed to get in the first place. And that ain't breakfast.
That ain't breakfast. That's what he heard, and that's what he said, man. Welcome, 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 everybody. I know you heard Mr. E.T., Mr. Eric Thomas going crazy. Come on now. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for joining this call tonight, man. It's your boy Suave Flex with the Splash Brothers, man. If you tuned in last week, you were definitely in for some sauce. You got some plays. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Bodie. Everybody that was making plays here in our XAU USD chat. Again, it's your boy Suave Flex with the Splash Bros. We're here on another Sunday Outlook call. It is April 27th. All right. I'm super excited to show y'all what exactly we have to show today. I did send out a scout play earlier today, pretty quick, pretty fast. I was in and out. Luckily, I was just quick. It did what I wanted it to do. That's exactly why I was positive, and it broke and closed above this area for me. That was a sign. I wasn't on the market at 3 p.m. when it opened. I opened up my chart like at what 3:07, so or 3:04. I was a little bit 4 minutes late. That's an easy money call because as soon as it came back down right here, that would have been the entry, shot back up. Okay, luckily it did exactly what I wanted. I caught 50 pips quick in and out. All right, that was my scalp play. That was my market open idea. Whoever got in that, shout out to you. Here's a profit right there, in and out, y'all. That's what we wanted to see. So now once we're looking today, Sunday outlook today, we're on the 4 hour chart. We're gonna go to the 4 hour. All right, 4 hour chart. We see some crazy things. I even think I talked to Joe about this. I was like, I think it's gonna hit 32.75 one more time. It just needs to smack it one more time. And sure enough, smacked that bad boy and it just shot right back up. Stayed above what it looks like our 32.75 key level here. Smacked that little support right and easy. Shoot, this could be another good level of support right here. This area right here. But it looks like that's where it wanted to go. It didn't go. Boom, came back up, bought, then it sold, took out all the buyers right here. We're looking right here again, got some buyers out of there, smacked them, probably smacked those stop losses. Now we're in the middle. We're on Sunday, y'all. So things could get tricky. Things could get very things start to get clear more so on Tuesday. That's why we like to do the Tuesday through Friday, kind of where we're trading, sending out actual trades here. So if you look here, we're at 32.91, about to close in 50 minutes, 51 minutes here for the next 4 hour candle. So that's going to be going into London session. All right, y'all, London session. We could see here, let's reload our Forex factory. Let's see what news we got coming up for April 28th. Nothing crazy. We got a JPY holiday there. Let me see what's going on this whole week. Nothing crazy for the US. I mean, this right here, this is Wednesday once the markets start to move. When, like I said, US unemployment claims. There you go. That's a good one. And then what, Friday? Ooh, NFP. Oh no, non-farm employment change. Yeah, NFP this week. So we can see some movement happening. We can see some big moves happening. All right, some crazy things happening. This is very tricky. So now this week, I'm looking for really hard like that, like the golden zones that we like to call out. If we go to the smaller time frames, I started to look at the smaller time frames as well. To catch those like confirmation moves. Okay, so even then earlier today when this like how Joe talks about when it smacks that key level and you could have bought that. If he would have seen this, I'm pretty sure he would have been like, "Yo, I'm going in for the buys." I don't know if he went in, but I'm pretty sure if we went to that 30-minute mark, look at that. Look at that. He would have got in right there. Smacked it, smacked that, stayed above it, stayed above that key level on that 30-minute mark. He probably would have been 100 pips from what 32.74. Yeah, you would have been good. Didn't even touch your stop loss at all. Even if you got in on this candle, didn't even touch your stop loss at all. Okay? Like 100 pips to catch 50 or to catch 150 or to even catch what? Almost, yeah, 150 pips right there in and out. Pretty sure if you got in a good lot size, 100 pips, 50 pips right there. Easy money. You would have caught that. Okay? And those are the key levels that we're looking for. That's 30-minute chart. Let's go in the smaller time frame where I know Joe really likes to see things happening. Boom. Easy money. He talked about that. If you guys were paying attention last week, you can go in the last video where he talked about you see that big downtrend. It goes in the smaller time frames, and then it just likes to loop right back up. But he went into that 30-minute time frame for him to catch that, where he probably seen this right here. And that's cool. Like I'm saying Joe because he gave a great example like this, and this is how I started learning to catch that scalp. I already knew there was going to be a little, a couple 50 pips that you could have caught. I haven't traded since. I'm being very, very cautious on what I'm doing here with my account. I think me and Joe are really about to. I think it's about to really happen for sure. We're about to grow this account. I know he just withdrew some money. He still left a little bit there, and he's going to grow it again. It's just going to be the common sense that you have about growing the account. not risking, over leveraging, things like that. So again, even if you got in on this 30-minute candle, this next 30-minute candle, I'm pretty sure he would have got it. He would have boom. But not even touching stop loss, came right back up 150 pips, easy money. Okay, guys. So this is what I'm looking for. Okay, 4 hour chart. We already seen that it's me personally. I'm looking for buy momentum. Obviously, we're in like it needs to break the all time high here. This 35, this 3,500. I see it breaking all time highs here. Just looping. It's in consolidation mode. I'm pretty sure y'all could see this. It's just bouncing, bouncing. It might even just come right back up here to that 35.50. If you see a break and close above these areas right here, these are those golden zones where it's like, okay, yeah, that's going to continue up on the bigger time frames. Now to catch these smaller time frame pips, I want to see a break and close obviously above that 30 that 3,300 level. If I see a break and close above these levels right here, that's going to be great for me. I need to change the color of this. So if I see break and close above here, this is what I would like to see. You know, boom, coming down right here. See a little bit of movement, or it could just take off fully. Tonight, it could just take off. But this is the hour chart. Now, if we're looking like 30 minutes and you want to catch for sure time, like quick pips here, even then, look at that. Break and close above that. That's the 30-minute chart. You go down to the 5-minute. You see it break above here, you're already in momentum. You see it break above here, you're in more buying momentum, the 33.25 area. But like we could already see that it's going towards that. Like look at that. You could if it breaks and closes above here, these here, let me put a little this little area right there. Even then, you see a break and close above these areas, you're in buy momentum. Me personally. Okay. So I'm gonna send out this chart right quick for this market idea for an uptrend. This is going to be on the hour chart right here, y'all. Hour chart. Sheesh. All right, hold on. Just send that there. Hope everybody's having a great weekend here. Send that right there. Boom. Market idea right there. Again, if you're in our XAU USD chat, you'll understand what exactly is going on. If you don't know how to get in that chat, please reach out to either me, Suave Flex, Joe B Sweepin, Joe AV, my guy, and then Bodhi. I think his Instagram is X. Dang, I got to get familiar with y'all's Instagram so that way I could shout it out. But I'll put it in the description below. All right, hit us up if you need to get access to that Discord. All right, y'all. So now, obviously, if we're looking for sell ideas, I mean, which you really shouldn't, but if you're looking for that idea and it could potentially happen again, anything can happen. We're only here to give an outlook and a prediction of the market, okay? That's what we're here to do. We're here to teach on. If you're in our XAU USD chat, then you'll be able to get the trades that we're sending, okay? So now we could again see this on the hour chart going up, maybe even coming back down, retest in this area. But if we see him break a close above these 33.25 level, I'm all buys. Okay. I'm still all buys right now. That's all I want to see. Okay. I'm not trying to confuse anybody here. I'm in buy momentum. I would love to see a break and close above these areas here for that entry. Okay. And again, it's Sunday. We could see anything happen. We could just see this thing just take off how gold just likes to take off. Okay. So that's going to be my outlook for today. I don't know if my brothers Joe or Bodie have anything to say for this call. Go ahead if y'all like, if y'all want to just take over. If not, then let's run it. I hope everybody
Can
has.
you hear me?
Yep, now we can.
No, I think that was a perfect call. I think that's how all the calls need to be. I like it. It was to the point, and we covered everything that needs to be covered for an outlook call. The only thing is, though, as much as we want buys, last week towards the end or last week it was a sell-off week. It was crazy. It did shoot up, so it looks like it could still be going up. But at this point, last week, the correct bias would have been sales, overall, even though it's consolidating. But so that means we shouldn't even have really traded. But going into this week, I know we want to see buys, but the way to approach it, just so that way everyone's aware, is you want to see it close above 350 bucks before you start considering buys again. Obviously, you could catch it from Suave's swing low. You could catch it, but that would be guessing. You want to see it close above there, so that way we can catch the momentum and the trend going back to 3,500 and beyond, a new all-time high. And then if not, on the 4 hour, if we close below where those wicks are right there, where CJ just drawed off that line talking about entries, if we close below, even the night, if we close the night, then going into Monday and Tuesday, we have to consider sales. As much as we want the big buys, yes, it might give big buys up, but I'm pretty sure that's just going to be retracement, and then it's going to keep selling off. Because now we got to trust trend at this point. If it closes, you know what I mean? We got to trust. Even though we want to see 3,500, it could sell off another week. And then in the grand scheme of things, when we look back 4 months from now, it could be at fucking 3,700. And it's not about that, okay? It's not about getting too excited and overcommitting. It's about following the trend and respecting the trend on the 4 hour. Because if we stay with the buy mindset in this week, this is where you can make all that progress, where I've done that, where you make all that progress, but then it's because you caught so many buys in the buy momentum. Then once you get to sell territory, you're still trying to catch buys. You give that money back to the market. That's not what we're going to do. That's not what I'm going to have anyone do. We're going to let it show us where it's going to go. So I might be very patient and wait till Tuesday, but we're going to let it show us where it's going to go. And then we consider, we find out what the trend is, and then we consider what positions we're going to be taking. And I will be respecting whatever the trend is, regardless of what my bias is on timing, Bitcoin, anything else I want to consider, news or blah, blah, blah. If it's showing sales, I'm going to go in for sales. And right now, it just sold off last week. And yes, there was buy pressure that created those 3 last wicks. But what else does that create? That creates a common area of interest for us to break through. So all those wicks right there at your bottom support, I could see it breaking through it tonight and closing below it. And then I could also see it shooting up to 3,500 tonight. It's at a tricky area. It's Sunday. It's in a consolidation zone. And, that's the way to go about it. If it closes below that, we need to consider sales. When it buys up, we don't think, oh, yeah, it's going to buy up again. No, it could buy up past that first key zone to sell off the second one. CJ has it marked up right there. It could buy up past the first one. Yep. And then sell off that second one. Yep. Just like it did 2 previous times before that. And that would be a textbook setup. That would be a Splash Bro strategy setup right there. Just based off of continuation pattern. Obviously, there's a little consolidation, so it gets tricky. But right now, it's looking like sales because we aren't able to pass that point up there either. But also, too, this is where you got to decide. So I just took $60 to 500 and withdrew. My brother CJ helped me withdraw. I paid myself. Now, this is once you pay yourself, you don't have to trade every week. You could take a week off and wait for it to start setting up that continuation type pattern again, and then we get in the market. If you think you always have to trade, then eventually you're going to hurt your overall results by trading consolidation in the wrong trend because you're over trading, and that's the way it works, especially on a weekly time frame where we're looking at ideas for the week now. This might not be our week. And it might take a week to where when it breaks out of these levels, it starts just flowing. It's just either sales or buys, it starts trending. We want to stay in trending markets. I don't want to participate in consolidating markets because now with experience, I'm understanding how that right there, if you've been winning the 2 last weeks with buys and then week number 3 comes and it's selling off and it's buying up, selling off and buying up, and you start participating in both biases, most of that, what you made in the first 2 weeks is going to be gone. So thank you, CJ. Let's just respect the trend, bro. Let's respect the trend. I like what you called out. I like how you did it today. It was on point. And yeah, once it shows us what it's going to do, then we can get a bigger idea. And the idea is too, with your little market ideas and scalp and shit like that, You could always participate. Those are always valid for dropping. But if it's not a part of your trading plan, you have to accommodate that into your approach when trading. Don't take any trade from anyone else and carry it with the same risk as your own. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So if you see a scalp or whatever and it doesn't go with what your trading plan calls for, then that means you should be risking minimal risk. You guys, we all gotta stop being greedy.
that's
I
right.
haven't been greedy in a long time, and it's paying off. It's doing wonders on my account. It's the same thing CJ and me always do. So I'm not gonna stop doing it. I'm gonna pay myself again in another month, and you guys will see that one as well. And all the trades will be documented.
Let's
And
do
the
it. We're both
difference
gonna
is
pay
I'm just not.
ourselves. We're both gonna pay
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah. And the difference is I'm just not gonna be greedy. So I'm not gonna because I've done it. I've grown $80 to 900 in 8 trading days, and then I've also grown like the 60 to 500, well, really 600 something, and then you know what I mean, which took like a little over a month and a half. The time it takes doesn't really matter. It should take you a certain amount of days to make that compound, so that way you're not risking too much. But the idea is I'm very much happy, pleased with myself that I was able to pay myself $500 instead of making 2 racks in a week and then losing it all because I'm being greedy. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Paying myself and being profitable, even if that's $50 at the end of the year profitable, I'm way more happier winning with $50 than knowing, oh, I made 5K last week and then fucking lost for 4,800 the next week. That won't be my lifestyle. That won't be my thing. My thing will be, for anyone who knows me personally, results and uh profitability across the board. Everything I'm doing in life, small wins, stacked up, small wins. That's all I gotta say for them.
That's
Let the
okay.
market show us what's gonna happen. But I do like everything you did today. You just
Yep, that's
fire.
fine, man. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone. Again, thank you guys for joining the call today. And you know, it's your boy Suave Flex, your boy Joe, your boy Bodie with Splash Bros. Let's get it. All right. Peace.